Welcome to the semifinals here of our Charlotte Open weekend. Part of Season 1 of the SCG Tour, brought to you by the wonderful people over at Ultimate Guard. It is Cedric Phillips and Greg Krempels here in the booth. Nick Miller is down there in the feature match area as we prepare to watch number 3 overall seed, number 1 on the SCG Tour leaderboard. That's Todd Stevens playing Eldrazi Tron. He's on the play with the Relic Progenitus against Andrew Jessup, number 14 on the SCG Tour leaderboard. Number 7 overall seed in this tournament, playing Grixis Death's Shadow.
A Relic is a good start for him.
Relic, a very good card in this matchup. Containing Grixis Death Shadow's graveyard is obviously ideal. They have cards like Thought Scour, Tassiger, and Gurmag Angler as payoffs, and we can't forget about the powerful Snapcaster Mage as well.
Yep. Even the rebuys from Colgan's command, very important.
Yeah. It's a deck that its graveyard is an extension of its hand, no doubt about it. It's Andrew Jessup will cycle a Street Wraith. Looks like he's going to fall down to 15. Come on, Andrew, give me 13. Ah, boo. Inquisition of Kozilek is too free. Well, there goes a Matter Reshaper. That's the only card that Andrew can select from Todd. Todd's hand has another Urza's Power Plant and All's Dust, an Eldrazi Temple, and a Reality Smasher.
Yeah, that hand was a lot more exciting with a Matter Reshaper in it. I'm sure Todd's not real happy getting dinged with that.
No, well, there's a Tower of Power.
Druid Tron piece.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what Jessup has here for his second turn of the game. You saw Stevens activate the Relic a couple times. That's why Street Wraith and that land are exiled. Inquisition of Kozilek, the only thing left. A Bloodstained Mire will now be added to the graveyard. And we'll see what land Jessup wants to search up here.
Jessup a long way from any of his Delve fatties right now.
No red mana yet here for Andrew either. He searched up another Watery Grave. Death's Shadow has arrived pretty early this game, however. Let's make it 2 of them. I don't think there's any Grape Shot to worry about this go-around.
He easily won against the Grape Shots.
That's true. That's very true. Stevens going to cash in the Relic, see if he can find the other Tron piece. Doesn't look like he found that, but he's got an Eldrazi Temple and a Thought-Knot Seer. Well, not a bad hand here for Todd Stevens. You see 2 Thought Scours, a Snapcaster Mage, which is going to predictably be exiled, and a Polluted Delta, which means Death Shadows are going to get a little bit more upset.
Yeah, and this is a funny spot where, Todd doesn't want to deal his opponent any damage for a while.
Fatal Push, Kolaghan's Man will go into the graveyard. Mystery card drawn. I think it was a Snapcaster Mage there for Andrew Jessup. Yeah, it's a situation where Todd does not want to attack with Thought-Knot Seer.
Correct.
Because you don't want to make Death Shadow angry. You wouldn't like it when it's angry. As here is a Thought Scour, Scalding Tarn, Street Wraith, Mystery card drawn. I think it was another Snapcaster Mage.
I think you're right. And any Delve fatties are back online.
Mm-hmm.
Just 1 turn later.
Takes basically nothing. And what's interesting about this might be a little over the top, but is Relic actually good against this deck?
I think Todd's hand was a little bit clunky. He didn't have a lot else going on, so he cycled it pretty early in order to try to find an action spell. It ended up working out for him. He hit the Thought-Knot Seer. But yes, I think Relic is good.
Okay.
We see the Grixis Death Shadow decks siding in spell bombs against each other in the mirror.
True.
And I assume they know what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah, you make a fair point there. Jessup might be thinking about attacking, but he's just going to hold steady for right now, as Todd Stevens is going to very quickly untap and draw. Now remember, Todd Stevens has a copy of All Is Dust in hand. Doesn't have the ability to cast it just yet, because he does not have Tron online. He did pick up a copy of Relic Progenitus this turn.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Relic, maybe it is a little bit better than I'm giving it credit for. He's going to activate that to remove a card here from Andrew's graveyard. Now he'll play another Temple. He's maybe taking a risk here, tapping out for a Reality Smasher. And do you dare attack with that Reality Smasher?
You're asking for it if you attack here.
Sure are, and he will not. So I think I know what the plan is now, Craig. Build a board.
Yep.
Play All's Dust.
Yep.
And then you can start attacking.
That is a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if he were to attack with a Reality Smasher, he's almost one fatal push away from just being dead on the swing back.
Yeah. This is what makes the Death Shadow deck so interesting. There are so many decisions, both for the Death Shadow player, but also for the opponent. It's very unorthodox to see someone play a Thought Knot Seer and a Reality Smasher and say, you know what? I'm going to hang tight.
We're keeping these on D.
Yeah, I'm going to hang tight, thank you. A Blood Crypt here from Jessup is going to enter the battlefield untapped, so he's going to fall down to 9.
That's too bad.
What was that?
9? Yeah, he's closer to dead.
Yeah, well, what he's found is a really good window here for Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah.
And so he's going to play a Snapcaster Mage. You mentioned Fatal Push. That can clear out the Thought Knots here. It's also going to allow Andrew to draw a card. Now, the card he draws may not matter all that much because what this has done is this has unlocked Death Shadow's ability to attack.
Yep.
And so in he comes with these 2 4/4s into a 5/5. Oh, that's pretty crazy.
Blocking, not very good for Todd here.
Not at all.
Not blocking is not very good for Todd here.
Agreed again. It looks like no blocks as Andrew, excuse me, I'm going to do a little bit of math here because he can sacrifice this land, and he's going to. He's going to fall down to at least 8. I asked the question, as I've asked so many times here this week, and how low will he go? And it looks like he might be going down to 6. Now, this gets risky.
Yeah, that's adventurous. Another Reality Smasher.
Dead, game over.
Walking Ballista.
Dead, game over.
Yeah. That's a lot of cards to fade.
Yeah. Serum Visions. And now he's tapped out. Can't even hide behind a Stubborn Denial. 2 cards here.
Sure. Stubborn Denial wouldn't have stopped either of the cards we listed anyway.
That's true.
So might as well cast your spell.
Matter Reshaper is the draw. And now there's all his dust. That's going to clear everything away, and now Jessup's going to fall down to 1. Remember, you can cast all of dust off of Eldrazi Temple.
Of course you can.
Why wouldn't you be able to?
Oh.
I think we might see Kolaghan's Command here. Now he's going to want to get back a Death Shadow because, you know, it's a 12/12.
But it costs so much mana.
You really got to work for your threats nowadays.
Yeah.
So he's going to get this back, and maybe it's going to be discarded. He's going to make him discard a card. So we got a 12/12 versus a Reality Smasher. Let's see what Todd Stevens draws.
And 2 draw steps if you count the Relic.
Yeah. It looks like he picked up a Chalice of the Void for the first draw step. Does he want to cash in the Relic right now? I think it seems ideal. He will. He'll use a Temple to do it. Draw a card. Ugh, Tower to go along with the Chalice. He'll play the Tower. He can't attack.
And he must block.
Pass that turn back.
Oof. What a back and forth game. This is a great game.
We got some swings here. Well, that's the easy part. I'm getting in there with Death Shadow. He does have to worry about like a card like Warping Whale making a chump blocker or something like that.
Sure.
But you saw the way that Todd was reaching for that Reality Smasher.
He was ready to block.
Stevens just draws a couple of lands, and Andrew Jessup, even though all his dust cleared out everything, and he went down to 1 life, is going to win game number 1 here over Todd Stevens. Grixis Death Shadow up a game here over Eldrazi Tron. Close one.
Oh, super close. Todd just needed just a little bit more to close out that game.
How good was that Kolaghan's Command, though?
Pretty good. And the Chalice of the Void being peeled off after is just completely insignificant.
Yeah. And we saw multiple relics that game, break up the graveyard, no delve threats, but Snapcaster Mage getting a Fatal Push timely.
Yep.
Because Stevens put the shields down for just 1 turn. Jessup was able to take advantage. And then another turn where the shields were down, he was able to Kolaghan's Command back a Death Shadow and get that on the battlefield. So close game. Stevens going to go to the drawing board here. Now, he said he has found a plan after sideboard that works for him. So let's go over these 15 cards. 2 Warping Whale, 2 Grafdigger's Cage, 2 Surgical Extraction, 2 Hangerback Walker, 2 Ratchet Bomb, 2 more copies of Relic Progenitus, a Worm Coil Engine, a Basilisk Collar, and a Pithing Needle. One thing that he's told us is that Karna Liberated out.
Yep.
He's sideboarding that card out.
Said it gets countered a lot, not always high impact. He's not a big fan of it in this matchup. He said he does like the Hangerback Walkers post board, which I can see. And I expect 2 more Relic Progenitors to come in, potentially the Worm Coil Engine. I mean, if you're fighting 5/5s, 6/6s, 7/7s, 8/8s, Worm Coil Engine loves that.
Yeah, that's true. Plus Death Touch. That
That's
matters.
what the Death
that matters
Touch
too. The Lifelink is probably pretty good, but the Death Touch too. It's expensive, but if you get Tron online, nothing matters at that point. So for Jessup, 3 Collective Brutality, 2 Ceremonious Rejection, 2 Nile Spellbomb, 2 Liliana of the Last Hope, 2 Surgical Extraction, Anger of the God, Stubborn Nile, Dreadbore, and Engineered Explosives.
So I'm expecting the Ceremonious Rejections to come in here. They're just ridiculous in this matchup. I like Dreadbore. It's a clean way to answer a fatty.
Kills Thought-Knot Seer, kills part of Worm Coil Engine.
Reality Smasher.
Yeah, takes a Reality Smasher.
Yep. If he doesn't know about Todd's sideboard plan, he can consider that takes down Karna as well.
Okay, sure.
I'm not sure how excited I'd be for a lot of these other cards.
Engineered Explosives is somewhat interesting.
Sure.
Because it kills Chalice.
Yes.
So but it's bad against a lot of the other stuff.
Yep.
So I'm somewhat interested in that. I'm trying to think of spells that he needs to counter for Stubborn Nile.
The Engineered Explosive does have a little utility if a bunch of tokens end up on the board from Hangerback Walker.
Also that.
If tokens end up on the board from the Worm Coil Engine.
True.
So, it's more than just Chalice Insurance.
I think it's a fine one to bring in. I wouldn't, if he had 3 copies in the sideboard, I wouldn't want all 3.
No, yeah.
But I think a 1 of is totally fine. Ceremonious Rejection is obvious, so that's going to come in. I'm thinking maybe, I don't think this is a matchup for Liliana the Last Hope. I don't think that's really what's going on here. So it'll be interesting to see because both these players, they're done sideboard, and they're going to start shuffling up, and then we're going to get this next game underway. Can't tell you on our backup match, by the way, Ross Merriam currently down a game. Living End in the hands of Chris Castro Rappel is game number 1. So Merriam will be on the play where those 4 Ley Line of the Voids will matter.
Sure. One of the cards that is huge in this matchup that I didn't highlight during our analysis is the 4 main deck Fairy Macabres out of Chris's deck.
That's very true. That's very true.
That is just a free graveyard hate card. We've been talking all weekend how we feel like people aren't prepared enough for the graveyard strategies, and he showed up with 4 of these in his main deck.
You make a very good point.
I like that.
Yeah. SCG Game Night very quickly here, folks. Last time we'll talk about this for you. Very popular promotion. We want to thank all of our wonderful tournament organizers and you players for making this promotion everything that it has become. Now, you ready, Craig? Every week in June, Murderous Red Carp.
Nailed it.
Got it.
Nailed
Not Red Cap, Red Carp. What? Pins and tokens. July. Goose of St. Traft. Nailed it. Pins and tokens.
Bang.
August. I'm on fire. Puggernaut. Pins and tokens.
Someone send this man a paycheck.
Go.starcitygames.com/game night for more information. For the stores that like to sign up for this, please contact your StarCityGames.com organized play representative. We'll get it taken care of for you. Game number 2 about to be underway. I know players are taking a look at those opening hands. Looks like Todd Stevens is taking a mulligan. I'm going to take a moment here to learn a little bit more about Andrew J., who's looking to make the finals once again, maybe get that second title as a 21-year-old. Self-proclaimed best player in the house. Him and his good brother, Danny, and I know the rest of the guys here for Team Metagame Gurus, they are huddled around, looking to see if Andrew can get a second title this year.
Yeah, lending a lot of support here.
Yeah, good team, good teammates. Ben Friedman, Frank Scarron, Captain Jim Davis, brother Danny Jessup, and we can't forget about Bradley Carpenter as well. That makes up TeamMetagamegurus.com, and Andrew is out here killing it on the SCG tours. He's currently up a game. Just showing off the power of Death Shadow, man.
It's been impressive.
I thought for sure he was going to lose that game. I really did.
Yeah, after the Wrath of God, the one-sided Wrath of God?
After the All Is Dust and bring him down to 1? Yeah.
But it was significant. Todd just blanked on 3 draw steps there.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Couple of lands. And he had some I win cards immediately, too.
Yes.
That's really tough. Stevens, mulligan to 6. He's going to keep. He's going to start things off with the Nurse's Mind. An Expedition map. He'll pass the turn back over to Jessup. Jessup will draw a card here. He'll play a Bloodstained Mind, simply pass the turn back. Stevens will draw. He's picked up a copy of Chalice of the Void. He'll play a Temple. He'll play a Chalice on 1. And I think we're going to see a Stubborn Denial here from Andrew, and we will. So that'll take care of the very problematic artifact.
But we know there's another in the chamber.
There is. But what this does is this gives Andrew Jessup a nice little window to resolve a couple 1-mana spells.
Yep.
Because this deck is capable of some ridiculous stuff. Like, this could be a turn where he slides through a Death Shadow.
He potentially could. It's a little more difficult here because he basically took the first turn off
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that he could stubborn denial that card.
For Jessup, he's staring at a Street Wraith. There's at least one Serum Visions there, and it looks like he might start with Serum Visions. And he will. So draw, and now scry 2. One of the nice things about Street Wraith in this deck, of course, it does lower your life. It adds to your graveyard. but, you laugh. It actually makes Serum Visions into a better card drawing spell.
Yeah.
Because you scry something to the top you want to keep, you can draw right away.
Well, it does a ton for this deck. It's like you're only playing 56 cards instead of 60 cards, which just makes your deck that much more consistent. It's really just an impressive card for these decks.
Yeah.
And all they want to do is pay 2 life to cycle it.
They would do it as, can you imagine if this deck still like Taxing Probe? LOL. This deck would be unbeatable. It would be ridiculous. There's an Urza's Power Plant. Only the tower left to go. I think we might see a Relic of Progenitus here in a moment for Todd Stevens. There's the artifact. See if this one resolves. Remember, Andrew Jessup was able to work his way through 2 of these last game. Jessup is going to cycle a Street Wraith. He's going to fall down to 15. Looks like he may have found a copy of Tassiger. Relic is in. Remove a card. I think the land's the easy one, so there goes the Bloodstained Mire. It's a focused kid right there, man. At 21.
Yeah, very careful play, which I can appreciate.
Yeah.
I know I made a lot of my mistakes by just being too hasty with my actions.
I'll go get a Watery Grave. Just you never see him move too quick. Never gets too high, never gets too low. Here's a Thought Scour. Street Wraith. Scalding Tarn to go to the graveyard. I see the double graveyard method is back.
We've seen this before.
Yeah.
A cagey strategy, the double graveyard method.
A Blood Crypt here from Jessup. He'll use that Blood Crypt to cast Tassiger. He's going to lose, maybe 1 graveyard, maybe 2. That's tough to say. Oh, I see we've condensed it into 1 now. Nice.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yep.
And that Relic just not able to prevent this.
I'm gonna call it what it is. Garbage. I'm
And,
gonna call it what it is.
and a Death Shadow.
Yep. And he's got a counterspell at the ready and Ceremonious Rejection.
Todd, we need Tron, and we need it now.
Yeah, you're not kidding. You are not kidding. He's got to let it rain with Haymakers here. Here's Mind Stone. I can't imagine that's going to get the Ceremonious Rejection. Yeah, Andrew does not mind that one at all. Now Todd's saying, I might have a spell to play. Here's a Chalice for 1. That probably has to get the Ceremonious Rejection.
Yeah.
So that'll get countered. But Andrew, I think he might have the nuts here, Craig. He's got a Snapcaster Mage in his hand with a Stubborn Denial and a Ceremonious Rejection in the graveyard. That might be what they call the nuts. Here's Serum Visions. Draw a card. Stubborn Denial. Nice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. This deck is busted. This deck is so good when it is firing on all cylinders. My goodness.
And Andrew's just making me look silly for my pick
Yeah.
here, which I don't appreciate. I'm going to have a talk with him after this match.
Pull him aside, yeah.
Yeah, just do me a little favor, man. Just throw the match.
Yeah.
Come on. I need this.
Stevens will draw. There's a small window here. He's going to activate Relic. And there goes Stubborn Denial. Here's Reality Smasher. It appears as though that's going to resolve. 2 fatal pushes in hand here for Jessup.
Yeah, Reality Smasher actually a very good one here.
Yeah.
Lines up well.
Yeah, you got a Death Shadow that's a 3/3. You got a Tasker that's a 4/5. You, of course, cannot attack with Reality Smasher because then Death Shadow is furious.
Oh, yeah, that Reality Smasher's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's going to be a wall for right now.
Firmly on defense.
Tasker and friends will untap. Jessup will draw.
I believe the last card in Todd's hand is the Worm Coil Engine.
It is.
And, when the Reality Smasher resolves, the Worm Coil Engine has a very good chance of resolving.
Well, you would think so. So keep in mind, on that turn, Jessup only had 2 mana available.
Sure, he couldn't Snapcaster Ceremonious Rejection.
Correct. That got taken down when he played Serum Visions.
And very potentially he will be able to do that next turn.
This is a last call to receive your playmat.
What is this?
Do you bite?
If this is a bluff, I'm in heaven. All right. Block. Is this K command? Yep. K command, where are we going? Target my...
Yeah, 2 to myself, you discard a card?
That's not bad. Nice play there from Todd. Going to draw a card with a relic. Picked up a power plant. This might be a little too cute for me. Man, he's going to deal 2 to himself to fall down to 8, which means they're going to trade.
Yeah, that's actually...
Maybe a little too cutesy-wootsy.
I think you said it just right. That's a very cute play. I think it was pretty unnecessary.
Yeah. Because now 6 mana comes rolling off the top, and now...
This is absurd.
Yeah, how are we beating this thing?
What in the world is going on this game?
A little too fancy for me there. I get that he would have gotten the last card, but the relic is what blew that up.
It did. And if he waits a turn or 2, he can likely have a better spot to trade the Death Shadow and then rebuy it with the K command.
Also, you think he just drew a blue to Delta, which means that the Death Shadow just would have been bigger than
Yeah,
it just would have been bigger than the Reality Smasher.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that play.
Well, and he lost the Snapcaster Ceremonious Rejection as well.
Yep.
He really exposed himself that one turn and got maximum punished for it.
Yes. No doubt about that. Now Stevens is untapping, and you know he's attacking. Yeah, in with Worm Coil Engine.
Let's do this.
Yeah. What do I got to lose? Andrew Jessup's got a bunch of stinky fatal pushes in his hand. I'm not doing anything. Here's Worm Coil Engine.
And this thing has always been good.
Yeah. Yeah. Tron's best friend.
Even before Tron. I mean, it's just always been a premier threat.
We got Thought Knots here. Okay. Oh, boy.
Wow.
What insane comeback.
Wow.
By Todd Stevens.
And Andrew just tapped out that one turn.
Yep.
And just all the worst possible things happened for him.
Just got a little too fancy with that Colgan's command.
Yeah.
I really feel that way.
Yeah, he could have been patient.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been very, very difficult for him to lose that game if he was patient.
But he was not, and that's why Todd Stevens has tied things up against Andrew Jessup, Eldrazi Tron, Grixis Death Shadow. They're getting ready for a third and final one.
Whew. That's why we do this, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's the close games.
That's what it's all about. Those are the best games. The close ones, every decision point matters. Try to leverage every bit of information you can get. And those are the fun ones right there. Now, we take a look at the 30 cards here, 15 on each side. Anything changed for you based off of what we saw in that game? I think some of the sideboarded cards that we saw were expected.
Yeah.
Worm Coil Engine, obviously. No surprise there. Didn't see a lot from Jessup. We did see a Ceremonious Rejection, but I don't think a lot changes as they take a look.
I don't think it does either. I don't know if Jessup goes back to the drawing board, tries to find an answer for a Worm Coil Engine, which I don't even know what that would be. Maybe a Dreadbore.
There's nothing clean.
Maybe the Engineered Explosives, if it wasn't in before, will definitely be in now.
Yeah, I mean, Todd's not changing much. I think Todd, he said he found a sideboard plan he likes in the matchup.
Yeah.
So he's not really going to the drawing board. He looked at the deck list again, and that's really about it. Andrew's considering some things because he's always contemplating things. But these guys are going to shuffle up, get ready here for game number 3. So they'll be underway here in just a sec. We'll see which one makes the finals as we very quickly talk about the StarCityGames.com newsletter. It's your source for Match with Gathering news, where we're going to highlight this tournament, of course, in there. It's been a fun one to watch here in Charlotte. We got highlights from some of our best articles, too. Upcoming SCGCHAR dates and locations, including that invitational a couple weeks from now. IQs and game nights, we'll show you where you can find them, and an exclusive cardboard crack comic. Best of all, it's free to sign up for. Go to StarCityGames.com/newsletter. Sign up today. Read some articles by Ross Merriam, who's in the semifinals here with Dredge, though he is down a game. You can read some articles from Todd Stevens, too, who we can learn about right now. It says he's from Denton, Texas. That is the hometown, but he's a Roanoke, Virginia native now. He packed it all up and moved.
Nice, and always a smile on this man.
He's always happy to be gaming, man.
Yeah.
He's always a happy guy, the 31-year-old who currently resides in Roanoke. 8 top 8s now, still looking for that first win. Inspired to dress nice by the character Neil Caffrey from the TV series White Collar. Flew to Australia by himself, and he was 16 to play in a tennis tournament, which is crazy to me. And full-time Magic streamer on Twitch. We're going to watch him play yet again here against Andrew Jessup, 2 very accomplished players here on the SCG Tour. I'm afraid to fly to Australia now. I'm 31.
That is far away, and it is a strange land.
Yes. I'm not doing it by myself when I was 16. To be fair, I had to get permission from my parents for everything when I was 16.
Of course.
So,
ever get beat up by a kangaroo?
no.
No. And you never will.
Yeah.
This is not a problem that you'll need to experience.
When I qualified for my first Pro Tour when I was 18, it was a struggle to get to go. It was in San Diego. It was in San Diego. I had to have Tim Ayton come over to my parents' house, and my mom, he had to have, like, Tim is 4 or 5 years older than me. He had to have a long-winded conversation about how he was going to take care of me every step of the way. That's the only reason I was able to go.
That probably hurt your chances.
Shout out to you, Tim. Thanks for that. Appreciate that.
We love Tim Ayton, but
yeah,
him being the
he's my guardian.
The mature, responsible
he's my guardian.
Voice of reason. Like, you want to do that, man?
Hey, that's Jeopardy Superstar.
All right, go ahead, do that, man.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Do whatever you want. Just
maybe it's a bad idea. I don't care.
Just make sure you're ready for the flight home. That's it. We got a Thoughtseize here from Andrew Jessup. He's already down to 15. Relic of Progenitus, Thought Not Seer, Dismember, Chalice of the Void, Mattery Shaper, along with an Eldrazi Temple and a Chalice of the Void. The opening hand that Todd Stevens kept. Pretty good keep.
Bad news.
Breaking news. Another mispick from Craig Krempels here in the booth.
You said that with way too much enthusiasm.
As Ross Merriam loses his match 2-0. And Chris Castro into the finals with Living End.
Yep.
Ari Lax, eat your heart out. I know he's happy. I know he's happy.
Come on, Ross. Did we not mulligan for the ley lines?
I don't know, man.
What's going on here?
Maybe Drew Beast within. Looks like Andrew's going to take a Relic of Progenitus.
Yeah, it looked like Andrew had an EE in his hand. So he already has an answer for the Chalice of the Void. And potentially you could come down with a threat, or maybe even 2, this turn, and just be out way ahead of this Chalice.
Perhaps another discard spell is actually going to be a Serum Visions. So, a little scrying here from Mr. Jessup. See where he wants to put these 2 cards.
You said there were 13 copies of Living End, right, in day 2?
Yeah,
and that's how it made it to the finals?
That's it, yeah, 13.
The sheer numbers is what got it there?
Yeah. I'll have to check with Nick on his metagame breakdown. Maybe he mislabeled Grixis Death Shadow. He meant to say 13 Living End.
It was 13 or 1.
Yeah. No argument there.
Very impressive run.
No kidding. No kidding.
And it's not at an end yet.
Could be the champion here in Charlotte. Bloodstained Mire is land number 2. Perhaps that will put a 2 into Andrew Jessup's life total. Bring him down to 12. There's Death Shadow. 1-1. Dead.
Get it while you can.
Yes.
I don't blame Todd at all.
Todd's going to fall down to 16. Is it time for Chalice or Hangerback Walker?
I like Chalice here.
He's going to go with a Chalice. Cavern's naming Eldrazi this time.
Now, people at home might not know, you can cast Engineered Explosives for as much as you want if you use all the same color.
Correct. So if I pay for it with red, it costs 2 mana.
Costs 2 mana, still only gets 1 Sunburst.
1, correct.
Yep.
That's correct. It was a way to work around counterbalance.
Yep.
Back in the day, a fun little trick that some players had figured out.
Would have been nicer if you just didn't have to deal with counterbalance to begin with.
Yeah, that'd be better. Here's Engineer Explosives.
Wizards did figure that out eventually.
Yes. There's a power plant. This is a Thought-Knot Seer. Jessup's hand is a Fatal Push, a Snapcaster Mage, a Death Shadow, and a Gurmag Angler. What he needs is a Thought Scour. Or a third land. But I think he probably selects Fatal Push here. I think.
Fatal Push is a little rough because if he does draw any land, it's just Snapcaster, play the Fatal Push.
Well,
Any fetch land.
well, no, if he takes Fatal Push, it's exiled.
Oh, sure,
Remember,
of course. Eldrazi.
Yeah.
I forget about the
That's okay.
tricky Eldrazi abilities.
That's the only reason I think that the Fatal Push is probably the easiest choice now.
Sure.
But Thought-Knot Seer can just be outclassed by Death Shadow and Gurmag Angler.
Yep, both of them.
So that's the other issue. But I think you have to take pushes because you don't want your opponent to draw a card. I don't know, Andrew, ever thought about one graveyard? No?
Yeah, he's trying to confuse us a little
No?
bit here
Okay.
with the 2 graveyard strategy.
I'm going to ask about this because he's way too smart to be doing this on accident. So there's definitely a method to the madness. Draw a card. Thoughtseize. Makes Death Shadow better.
Yes, it does.
Along with every other card in the deck.
And it makes your opponent's hand worse.
Nailed it.
Combo.
Yeah.
We should put these cards in the deck together. You and I. We can come up with something here.
Hangerback Walker, Battery Shaper, and Expedition Math is what Todd is working with here. Yeah, you and me. Let's take the world by storm. Take the headsets off and let's build a Thoughtseize deck.
They won't be expecting
No.
it with Death Shadow.
No way.
They won't see it coming.
He's going to take Battery Shaper. Interesting. Doesn't care about Hangerback Walker.
Well, they're both very good, pretty awkward blockers for Andrew to try to battle through.
Here's Gurmag Angler.
What does he want to leave behind?
Just going to be a Serum Visions.
And now Andrew's in the awkward spot of trying to represent 2 graveyards with only 1 card.
Tough.
Yeah.
Really tough, yeah. Just brutal. Steven's very quickly going to use an Expedition map here. I'm curious what he wants to search up. He did that with intent. He's going to go with an Urza's Mine.
Yours.
Well, the best feeling when you're playing Tron is to peel the tower,
Yes.
never the mine or the power plant, so I totally respect this decision.
These are little secrets to playing Tron decks.
Just rip off a tower and you're like, ooh, 3 mana. Actually make it 7. You're dead now. Big follow-up. Serum Visions. Draw a card.
Man, Gurmag Angler.
It's good.
So good.
It's a really good card.
It's hard to kill that thing.
Some people think it might be the best creature in Modern.
I mean, it's up there on the list of best legacy creatures.
Yeah. 1 mana 5/5. Making Tarmogoyf look even bad.
Well, it shrinks their Goyf.
Yeah. It's an unreal card. Both cards can be scribed to the bottom here for Jessup. Didn't get a great look at what he drew. Oh, okay.
Take that.
Yeah. Play Death Shadow. Dare you to attack.
Yeah.
Draw a card. Cavern of Souls. Not exactly the Tower of Power.
No.
We'll see what this one's naming. Remember, the first one's naming Eldrazi. This one might name Construct. It's going to be Hangerback on 2. Yep. Looks like this next one named Worm to be able to power Wormcoil Engine through Ceremonious Rejection.
Potential Wormcoil Engine. Or any earthworms that might show up in his hand.
That's true as well, yeah. Here's a Thought Scour. Inquisition.
Oh, Andrew.
New graveyard. Inquisition and Snapcaster Mage were the cards that were thought scoured away. Blood Crypt's going to enter the battlefield untapped. Down to 8. Is where Jessup is probably headed. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Do I have something, man?
Yes.
Do I have something?
I love this deck so much. Death Shadow's a 5/5 right now.
Go ahead. Try a double block.
Yeah. All right, there's a double block.
I mean,
Gonna kill a Thought Knot Seer. Draw a card.
and I think Todd had to double block there.
I think so,
It's
too.
the right play, but it's still just, it doesn't feel fun when you do it.
Thought sees the draw. Now, I'm not sure if Andrew knows the last card in Todd's hand. But if he doesn't, Thoughtseize is very interesting because you kind of want to cast it.
Yep.
But if you cast it
Yep. And they draw.
and they draw Reality Smasher, you're dead.
You just set yourself up to lose this game.
Yep.
And we saw, you know, the previous game where Andrew overplayed his hand and wound up losing.
And I don't think he knows what that card is if he's casting this. It was Wormcoil Legend. Okay. So, Smasher Basher? I think it was, is this Smasher? Oh, no, it's an Endbringer. It's an Endbringer. Okay. Okay. That's still really good. That's still really good.
That is great.
Yep.
I thought it was the Smasher, too.
Yeah.
Todd did the double check.
Yep. All right, what do we have now? Thought Scour. 1 is a Street Wraith. 2 is a Polluted Delta. Draw a card. It's a Snapcaster Mage. You see Endbringer and all the things that it can do. Stevens is putting up a heck of a fight here. Pass the turn back. Gurmag Angler's got to hang back on defense.
And Todd's in the driver's seat now.
I think he's in really good position. Endbringer's going to get to do all the things.
Yeah, whatever thing it wants.
Activating Ghost Quarter is... Okay, he's just going to draw a card. Never mind. The follow-up is an Expedition map, which means he'll have Tron online. Okay.
Tron, or if he feels like he has enough mana to do whatever he wants, he can get the Seagate Wreckage.
Yep.
Although it's pretty awkward to... Like, he can't activate the Seagate Wreckage right away.
Yeah.
And he already has the Endbringer drawing him some extra cards.
Back to Jessup we go. The problem right now for Andrew, I think, is he's working on only 1 blue mana, which means a card like Snapcaster Mage just isn't nearly as good.
Yep.
He's got to play Thought Scour again. 1, 2, draw, terminate. Pretty good.
Very good one. Although this Hangerback Walker's...
It's going to start growing.
Yeah. It's going to turn into a problem here.
It's going to start growing. Is Gurmy attacking? Wow. I like it. I like it. Okay. So he says attack.
Todd lets him attack.
Todd lets him attack because he doesn't use Endbringer's ability. I think that's Reality Smasher.
I think that was
that's Reality Smasher. I think we're going to see a block, put counters on here. If that's Reality Smasher, Todd Stevens is moving on to the finals. He'll get 3 Thopters as long as he does remember the trigger.
Yeah, he was just waiting for them.
And he'll pass the turn back. That is a Reality Smasher, and that is going to do it.
Wow.
Todd Stevens is going to win this match here.
So close.
Over Andrew Jessup, 2-1. He said he found a sideboard plan, and he has found a sideboard plan. Eldrazi Tron is moving on over Grixis Death Shadow.
So close.
3 really, really good games.
Yeah, that was great to watch.
Yep.